Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D 4X today, like I do most weekends. This had a cough. Right? Something's always gonna fuck up my intro. I don't even like doing it. I wish I could just jump in, but I feel like I have to introduce what is going on here. Anyways, I'm making a 2D 4X game in Godot, which is open source game engine. I'm using the Godot.net version. The game I'm making is a 2D 4X, which I've mentioned like 7 times already at this beginning here. That's it. You know what I'm always surprised about is how many people don't know what a 4X is. I feel like, you ever hear that thing where you're like living in a bubble? I feel like I'm living in a bubble. Like everyone I've ever met is like, yeah, 4X games, love them. And then when I talk to people in chat and stuff, they're like, what the fuck is a 4X? So it isn't as well known as I think it is, and it surprises me. Anyways, 4X, I always have to look it up too. Because I can't remember the 4th X. And then every time I do this, I can't remember like the second two. Explore, exploit, exterminate, something. Anyways, it's a basic strategy game. I think it was probably invented for Civ, but mine is inspired by more Paradox games and whatnot. I guess I could hit play here and we can look at it. What we're gonna work on today is we did all this work to make it so that we can have scouting equipment. Primitive scouting equipment can be produced. Oh look, I got 30 this time instead of 32 when I ran it earlier. So you have like these provinces and you go around, and what we're going to do today, this is in Spanish right now. Some of it's in Spanish. We have to translate this stuff. Is under our heroes, we need to put equipment, starting equipment. But there's a few things we got to do first before we do this. But we took 6 months or something to get so that you could produce primitive scouting equipment just for this part. And then once we have it so that you can equip primitive scouting equipment, you can have your guy, we're going to have the guy start scouting, or actually exploring. Let's switch this back to English. Let's see here. Localization. I'm going to reset that. There we go. Now it'll be in English. I've been trying to... Originally, I was just... I came back and did the localization, but it's a lot of work, so I'm trying to do it as we go. This panel we haven't gotten to yet, but we will soon. Yeah, we should probably do that sooner than later. But anyways, so what I have up here on my list here, this is my list of things we're going to do. And we have to make sure that when the hero is set to move, we remove their current county improvement. What happens is when a hero builds or works or whatever, they get assigned a county improvement that they're working on. And for some reason, we never cleared that out when they start moving. We have removed from research. What does this do? I mean, that's important. But we need this other thing to happen too. We're going to update this. Since we have remove from research right now, I wonder if I have a remove from... This is assigned to the token? That's strange. I've learned and changed as I've gone along here. So probably what we want. I don't think I have a pre-built. Let's look. A pre-built thing that's removed from. We could use this one actually. We'll just update the current county improvement to nothing. So we're going to go token, population data, oh God, update. We'll just put null in here. There we go. I don't know why this is here. I'm going to leave it there. We're going to redo how research is bugged right now because I changed how it works. So we're going to redo research soon. When I say soon, I mean long time from now. Remove hero from research. I'm getting crazy into remove the hero's current county improvement. I'm getting crazy into putting comments on here, even though this is pretty obvious what this does. I just have found that it's easy. Sometimes what does it do? You know, sometimes I even put like what. Yeah, this is all gonna change. This is gonna break. That's fine. We'll deal with that later. Another thing I wanted to do before we got into this other. Here, this is. I guess I should test it. It's the key, right? It's test. Everything needs to be tested a lot. We'll test this. See, now we only got 8 of those errors. I'm gonna open up Discord because I have a link to it. Put a question on the Godot forum for that error. No one's responded, and I only have 24 views, and I was like, man, maybe I need to change the title or something to make it, because it's been 4 days. Change the title to get some more traction. But then I looked, I think it was topics. Like, views are very low on this website. This one's got a lot of views. But, like, 24 is low. You know, mine being 24. But there's, like, a lot of these. This is not a high viewed website. Probably of the 24 on mine, 12 of them, 20 of them are mine, of me clicking on it. So yeah, I was kind of surprised at the low number of views on these, because this is like the home page. I don't even know if mine's on here, but I could probably change the title to make it more more interesting. Maybe I should post it on Reddit or something. I don't know. I guess I could open an issue. It's weird. It's a strange issue because, like I was saying in the other one, I didn't want to get ridiculed. My expectations weren't that it would just get ignored. I figured somebody would be like, "Oh yeah, you're dumb shit. This is what you're supposed to do." But no. So I don't. Now we're only getting 8 of these errors. See, it changes every time we run the goddamn thing. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna spawn this person, and I don't know if we've done this, and we're just gonna move them around a little bit. We'll unpause it. There we go. He's just a hero, so he can move into other spots. He's not an army. So that's that. We're not getting any bugs. So that's, at least I don't think we are. Nope, besides those 8. So that's all we needed to do for this. So we're going to close this ticket. I also closed a couple of tickets. I mean, they're not really tickets. A couple of issues. Before I started, there was 2 issues that were just so dated, and it wasn't even in the way we do things anymore. So now we're to hero inventory. Let me push this code, though, to main. And I guess we should probably export it. Yeah, we should probably export it, too. Every time before I push to main, I guess we should export it. So let's do that. Project, export. We need to find a new template because this one is no longer good. We'll delete this. And we will download and install. I have some coffee. The coffee shop at my house is, I'm assuming, closed because it snowed. And I'm in Portland, Oregon. If it snows, fucking world ends. Like just one snowflake, everyone's like screaming and running to their cars. People will literally abandon their cars in the road. It's crazy shit. On freeways, starts snowing, people just and then get out and run home, fall down. It's kind of shocking. I mean, I don't have a car. I don't drive. But even to me, it seems insane. All right, so now we can export this. I guess it's still thinking. This computer is really going. I'm going to buy a new computer soon. I'm doing some repairs to my house because I had a leak. I think I've mentioned this before. And it's really expensive. It's really expensive. So where's the, okay. And it makes me just want to spend all my money. Just like, fuck it. Just Who cares? So this is the compiled one. We need to leave the maps here. We'll delete. Can I not delete stuff out of here? All right, we'll do this a different way. 2D4X. Compiled. 2D4X. Delete. And let's cancel. Export. There we go. Yeah, I not on this. I'm having it pack everything together into the exe. I don't know if we need to do that. I think I was fucking around trying to figure something out, and so I decided to do that. I don't know if it's really necessary. This is nice. Why don't I just move this over a little bit? Okay, compiled 2D4X. Here we go. We want it with the console. Let's see what we got. Let's see if it pops out those errors on this. I don't think it did. It didn't. Which is kind of strange. Wonder what all these checks are while the game starts. Anyways, what do we need to test here? So we need to test, what did we do? We did some building stuff. I suddenly have this fear of like, the test isn't going to work. So what we got to do is we got to build something. We're going to build two things here. Yeah, I totally am apprehensive that this is going to work. We're going to prioritize this one, number 2 here. We're going to go to our hero now can build. We're going to check that. We're going to check this. He's set to build. It doesn't have what he's building yet because he hasn't been assigned to a building. So we're going to go to 3 o'clock in the morning. And now it should have assigned him a building. And it looks like the prioritization has worked. So we're going to let this roll for a minute. I actually set the building to take kind of a while, so we'll see. You know, we can check to see if another day has passed in this. We still have 5 and 3, so that looks good to me. We're not getting any bugs over here. Okay, so this has been completed. This is checked still and grayed out. So and this is a bug, but I actually kind of like this bug. This is not intended, I guess. Not necessarily a bug. It was unintended, but it's. You know that the hero is set to build even though there's nothing to be built. So we're going to do some notifications later, much later, kind of like Paradox games like CK3. There'll be things that will appear up here and they'll be like, you have an idle hero, or you have a hero set to build, but there's nothing to build. Because the heroes are how you have much more control over the heroes than you do over anybody else in this game. That's what I call them, heroes from like Heroes of Might and Magic. But we're gonna set him to work. He should be work. Now this is gonna be interesting because these guys are already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys are already set to work, so it's supposed to boot somebody off, and I think we tested this. Man, fingers crossed here. So we'll want to wait till 3 a.m. and we'll see what happens over here. 1, 2, 3. I think this is wrong. So we have 3 people and 5 people. Yeah, this isn't working right. It's still set to prioritize, so it should have put them all on the worker. That should have put all the workers on. There should be more workers on Fisher Shed 2. Guess we're not ready. Man, we tested this so many times too. So let's look at this. So I wonder what I did differently this time. How many people do we have? 9? So that's a good number to test with. he was put into there. Let's go through the things here one more time. We tested it. I don't think I tested prioritized after we did the other thing. So maybe that's the problem. There's also like a list over here that I just remembered we wanted to get rid of. Generate prioritize work improvement list. If there are no, okay, so it's gonna put low good stockpile. Let's make sure that we have our, what do we need for this thing? So we need 5 wood. Man, I don't know if when was the last time if we ever tested this used remnants thing. We need 5 wood. So let's check our goods. We have 60 wood. Let's check our log here. Look at this value changed. We did want it to like kind of move people around a little bit. We don't care about that. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't matter here. I wonder what will happen if we let it run. I was about to close that. If we let it run to another day. Oh, and then it kicked it over on the next day to the correct thing. Let's let it run one more day. Maybe that's why I didn't notice it when we tested it so many times before. And they're still working there now. So what happened? Let's see. When it finished construction, the next day, when it finished construction the next day, it should have, let's go back to here and look. We need to go to start. So it checks, start of day happens, end of day happens before start of day. So it checked for this, and then this checks if their improvement is done, and it sets them to idle. What does this guy say? He's still on work. He was on build. So then after that, it should get at 3 p.m. So at 1 a.m. it does that. It also checks a weekly thing, but we're not really using that yet. Then it assigns the heroes to here. So at this point, they should all be idle. All the population. We don't give a shit about that. So for 1 day, it was off. Let's restart it, but in the... let's duplicate what we just did and see if it does it again, or if I care. Sometimes I just say, 1 day, who gives a shit? But it's one of those things where you're, a player, if they clicked on that, they're going to wonder what the hell's going on. So what did we do here? We went to here, we built 2 fisher's sheds. Oh, I'm wondering if we have a thing for prioritized buildings to collect their goods. We prioritized 2. We went to the hero, we put him on build. And I'm pretty, we looked at this. Pretty sure that's all we did. 3 o'clock. We have 5 people. No unhelpful people. We have 5 people and 4 people. So that is how it should be. Now we got to wait for this to finish building. Put on 4 speed there. We have 5 and 4. That's the correct amount. Now it should stop here soon. Yeah, so the fisher's shed has been completed at this point. And that's right. So that's the correct thing. But we put this guy on work now, and then does that fuck shit up? Is that what's happening? So the next morning, hit some stuff too many times. Yeah, so the next morning, there's 4 people working on 2. And then another day is going to go by. And it fixes it. So there's a day between, and it has, well, let's do this. Well, let's rerun this one. Whoops. Let's rerun this one more time and not apply the hero and see if like something changes. I think something to do with the hero. Well, the hero does clear everyone off if he's set to work. I think it's the hero. I don't think we tested that last weekend. So there's probably something where he clears everything, everybody off the list, but even with him clearing everybody off the list, it should. Oh, maybe it happens after the prioritization. It does. I'm just going to do this one test real quick, but I'm pretty sure. I think it happens after the prioritization. So regardless, yeah, so it's clearing them. They're already set prioritized correctly, and then it clears them off, I think. What was it? What did we do here? 2 of these. Prioritize this one. We're not going to do anything with the hero this time. We're just going to see how it works. So let's see. 2 has 5. Speed this up. Two has 5. Yeah, so I think I didn't test it with the hero involved. After we tested it earlier. 2 and 5. Yeah, so we rewrote. So where is that? It's right here. Assign everyone to construction. If prioritize hero builder list, which we wanted to rename this eventually, remove everyone from the county. So this is it's so everyone's already assigned correctly at this point. It seems like because of the prioritize thing, and then we remove them, and that fucks it up. So how do we do? So this is. Yeah, so, but then it works the second day because the hero is already working there. So let's go through this for a second and think about this. So it goes down and it assigns the heroes to the list. So this list that's working correctly. Generate prioritize construction, but that's working correctly. Is it? I just thought of a way to do this whole thing easier. Which is kind of a bummer. Okay, so the way we could do it. Let's see. Let's look at this. Is this a separate list? It is. All right, so the way we could have done it, and it would have been better. I'm pointing at my own code. Like, fuck you code, no. So the prioritized list, man, why didn't I think of this before? Wish somebody in chat had come and told me I was a dumb shit. There's an easier way to do this. So what we're doing currently is we have two lists. We have a prioritized construction list and we have a construction list, or whatever, prioritized work and prioritized construction list. And then we deal with those lists. Maybe there's a reason why we can't do this. We deal with those lists and then we regenerate a new list. Let's double check that that's what we're doing. Generate prioritized work improvements, clear the list, find idle population. Where are we getting, when we're assigning these people, where are they going to? Improvement builders list. Which list are we passing in here though? Workers list. And we're doing county, under construction county improvements. So what we could have done is we could have just sorted the list by putting the prioritized ones at the top. Because this is going through each one and trying to assign people. I don't think we would have had to gone through it twice then. We could have done the whole thing in one fell swoop if we just sorted the list. Let's look at our game here though. So if we did that, so this sorts it alphabetically. Which we would want probably for this screen. So this screen, we would probably want it, this UI elements or whatever they call it. We would probably want that to be still alphabetized. This is going to get kind of out of control. You're going to have a lot of stuff to sort through there. But I think we'd still want that sorted that way. But we could sort, man, why didn't I think about this before? This is like a rewrite of my rewrite of my rewrite. What's the reason why this wouldn't work? So let's think about it with building. You have a prioritized list of under construction improvements. You sort it by the prioritized ones first. It's going to assign everybody down the list. What was the deal with prioritized workers? Prioritized workers, it was taking people away from, but that's fine. It was taking them away. So the thing is, if the person, if it's prioritized, it should take them off their other jobs and put them on the prioritized thing. So I think, man, is it that easy? Did I like screw myself at some point? Probably. Generate prioritized work improvement list. Then we assign all these people. When we assign them, I'm pretty sure we remove them from some other list. Remove everyone from county improvement. Assign. Remove from the county improvement they were currently at. Yeah, there was that weird shit too. But that's a different weird shit. So why didn't I do it? There had to have been a reason. Well, I mean, I guess I could have just not thought of it, but I have a feeling there was a reason why we didn't do it this way. So you're going through the list of prioritized under construction things. What is going to happen if you put a bunch? They're going to go through it like alphabetically. Okay, so we're gonna, I think we can, man, this sucks. It sucks that I have to rewrite this. But I guess that's why we do what we do. I have to change the title of my video too. Found a bug and it changed everything. So let's think about if we can do this the way I'm thinking. I'm gonna push this code. Look at all these system things. This is a temp. It's probably because of the export file. Anyways, we're gonna push this code before construction list change. I feel like I would have thought of doing it this way, but maybe I just didn't think of it. I mean, that's totally possible. There's been other things I've just not thought of. And usually chat says, why don't you do it this way? And I go, oh shit, you're right. Chat's very useful for that. Let's start with building though. Once this is done. All right. Just making sure that that actually. So then on this, what we would do, this wouldn't change. This would, we would generate a list. Let's write a new one, I think. Yeah, let's go population work start generate improvement list. No. It auto-populated that. All right, it doesn't want to let me do it this. I mean, it will let me do it that way, but I don't fuck with it. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna cut this. We're gonna jump to here. We're gonna go up to here. Public static generate improvement list. We're gonna pass in the county data. County data. And then we're gonna go like this. And then, why are you green? Void. Then we're gonna go, where is this gonna be? This is in population. We could actually pass the list back to here. The heroes in it are back to, we could pass this list, but I guess we'll just manipulate that one list completely. So this is what we're gonna do here. We are going to sort the list by prioritized first, completed construction second, section second, and third by max construction. So what it will do is it will put the prioritized thing on the top. The one that has the most completed construction next, and then the third one, the one with the lowest max construction. All right, so we have our list, we have our county data, and then we're gonna sort this list. We're gonna have ChatGPT sort this list. And we're gonna need to use Godot's sorting crap because it's a Godot collection. So let's also put in the parameters. The first will be county improvement. County improvement data. I'm just typing this in here to get the, oh, well, let me do it. All right, fine, fuck you, we'll go look at it. The first thing we're gonna do is by bool prioritized. I want this list county data dot under construction where the fuck are you, list? I'm in the wrong spot. This one right here. we're going to sort this list. Sorted by county improvement data dot prioritized equals true first, then if it is false, county improvement data dot, what is this, completed construction? Max amount of construction, current amount of construction with a capital C, current amount of construction, highest first, then by county improvement data dot adjusted max. No, there's no adjusted for that. Max amount of construction. Max amount of construction. This is with a Godot dot collections dot array. There's no sort custom in the C# version. There is no sort custom in the C# version of Godot. Oh. Okay, so it's going to have us use link anyways, which isn't the end of the world. We'll just convert it into a thing and convert it back, I suppose. We want this one. We want this to be highest amount of construction. Did I put lowest? We want this to be highest amount of... Wait, that's not the right variable. Current amount of construction. Oh no, we do want, that's the max amount. We want the lower. Yeah. Because it's going to build this, the easiest one first, basically. Using link. I mean, I don't need this using link. My chair is slowly rolling back. This has been a constant issue since I started streaming. Is my chair? It's only on this channel. It doesn't do it. I guess it's a different computer, different chair. It only does it. Here we are. Where are we doing? What are we talking about? I'm jumping all over the place. We were gonna write something. It was in population work start. It's right here. We're gonna sort this list. So sort the list based on the specific criteria. Prioritized first. Prioritized. What did I think it's prioritize. It does seem like it should be prioritized now all of a sudden. Thanks for making me doubt my own variable names. Prioritize. Should it be prioritized? Yes, it should be. That's an easy fix, though. Let me go back to here. Go away. All right, so it's going to sort the list based on the specified so this one, it's adding in the county improvement. This isn't going to work. Is this going to work? How is it doing it? This is a Godot collection, and it's able to sort all this stuff with a Godot collection? Lowest max amount of construction first. Prioritize first. Did I already do this? And did I already do it this way? And then because we had that crazy sorting thing, did I already do it this way? And then I changed it, and now I'm changing it back. That wouldn't be the first time I've done that. I mean, or something similar. Change it back similar, like close to what I had it before. I don't think I had it like this at all. This is all right. Whatever. We need to see if this works. What we're gonna do. How are we gonna test this? Well, GD prints. Well, for each county improvement data. County improvement data. I should just rename county improvement data to improvement data. For each county improvement data in county data under construction county improvement list, do this. GD prints improvement sorted list plus improvement county improvement data dot improvement name. Then we're going to go back over to this where I was attempting to type this in and then I failed. And we'll just leave this other one in there. So that way we won't get any errors. All we want to see is that this is working. Because I have a feeling that seems too easy is my feeling. Whenever anything's too easy, we have another problem. So if we have all of the prioritized list, like we don't even need to, we just need to make sure that we sort it again when we do the UI. We sort it to like its own list. So it's going to sort it at the beginning of the oh, did this not restart? Oh, it was still, I don't know what the fuck it was doing. Maybe I click next. I've noticed this last time that you got to like click on the thing to click on the thing. You got to click in. Ever since it's been embedded, it's not actually like, it doesn't respawn unless you like click inside this thing. It's weird. So we're going to do this again. 2 of these. We're going to say this. We're going to close this down so we can get to that button. And then let's look at our improvement list. So this is the way we want to see it here. Let this run at 3 o'clock. Now we should see 2. Okay, that isn't going to work. I forgot that I did a thing. I did a thing here. Let me go to the thing I did. I think it's getting, yeah, it was right there. See, now we're down to 8. Flip-flops. 2 county improvements of the same type. Prioritize. Can we build a garden shack? Or do we have the cash for it? Let's just see what this puts out. All right, the only thing that's prioritized is Fisher Shed 2. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Fisher Shed 2 is first, which is what we want. Garden 1 is put before Fisher Shed 1. Let's look at our improvements over here. We should be checking. Those are both at 0. So both of those being at 0, it should go to the next thing. Where are we? Did I pass it? I think I passed it. No, here we go. Current amount of construction is 0. So those are going to both be at 0. Because if the reason why I have that checking next is because if you're already working on a place that we don't want them to jump off of there. God damn these cords. Every time, every stream, I got to complain about this shit because I'm always rolling over. I guess I just got to buy some crazy ass wireless headset. Since I was talking about, like you're spending so much money, we might as well spend it all. Okay, so after it checks that, max amount of construction is 5. And then this is like 100 or something. Yeah. So then it's going to do so it's the guard. So there's no construction being done yet on either one of those. They're both 0. None has been finished. So it then looks at the max amount of construction. It's like, oh, a garden's much quicker. So let's build the garden next. So that's correct. So now we have this list that should work for all, I don't know, of county improvements that is sorted so everyone, whatever. We'll just leave that there. Who gives a fuck? So then let's go back over to this. And then we get rid of this. And then it's going to go through. See, it doesn't even need this now. It doesn't need this anymore because it's always going to assign. We might need this generate prioritize builders list. Do we? Joker, how's it going? You can't. Well, that's good to know. I was watching this new guy stream, and his sound was all fucked up. And every time he streams, his sound is differently fucked up. Like sometimes his voice is extremely loud, and sometimes it's like very quiet. And then he also has like other people in his team when he's streaming, because it's a video game and it's like a co-op game, And sometimes they're extremely loud. Sometimes they're very quiet. Sometimes one of them, and I didn't want to be that guy that's every time I show up to his stream is like, your sound's fucked up. But there was one time I had to say something. I don't, because when I first started streaming, my sound was always fucked up. Yeah, I think what happens is he overcompensates when someone says like, "Oh, we can't hear you." Oh yeah, what about now, motherfucker? Yeah, we can hear you. And then sometimes like the video game also is missing sound. I haven't seen him stream recently, but yeah, I didn't want to be the guy because I remember when I started streaming, every stream I felt like there was something fucked up, and someone would be like, your shit's fucked up, and it's like, you know how you're a streamer, you know how it is. Like sometimes it's demoralizing every time you stream that there's some problem. Now I just ignore the problems. So back to this thing. This list the other thing that guy does a lot is invite random people to join him and play online, which I also did a little bit of, and it works. Is yeah, yeah. I streamed once, and like my game capture or something went bad. Um, like it was definitely my fault. I did something wrong, but it was a black screen after a couple of minutes. Like it kicked over. Like I did something, and it caused it to where they couldn't see the screen, and no one said anything. So I was just sitting here. That was only like 30 minutes, but and then this other time it was really strange. I was streaming, and the developer for the game showed up, and game capture was on, but at a point, game capture stopped capturing and was a frozen screen. But it wasn't frozen. Uh, the animations on the screen were still working and stuff, but it wasn't what I was seeing. And the developer was in chat, and he was like, we like you're saying that stuff's happening, but all we see is the like menu, the start game menu. And I looked and stuff, and I was like, then I switched to display capture to show that I was actually doing something, and the developer's like, "That's the strangest fucking bug I've ever heard of," because I've never heard of it before either. So like, you couldn't get back to that screen without going to the main menu of the game. So somehow OBS was getting that with the animations on the main menu. Yeah, it wasn't like that thing was. I don't know. And so we both, me and the developer, both like, it's probably a fluke. Don't worry about it. Okay, so if we generate this list, what is this being added to? Do we have an actual... Okay, we do have a prioritized builders list. We have a prioritized builders. I should run an OBS as an admin too. I don't think I... No, I do. I think I do. Maybe I do. Yeah, I think someone else, I think I read on one of their forums, someone said like, "Oh, for the love of God, just run OBS as admin." Because, like, it wasn't like I had posted, it was they had, it was just someone else. And yeah, some games I just can't capture it with game capture. I have to do display capture. So, but display capture does grind more. If you have if you have a game capture on and display capture on, it grinds your computer more, which like significantly more. That's like the first thing I always check if I'm getting lag in OBS. So we generate this list, but we need to change this. So this list is always going to happen then. If we do it this way, it will always have to generate this list, which maybe that's why we broke it apart. Was it an attempt to... I mean, it's not the end of the world. So it generates the builders list. It assigns the builders to improvements. This won't exist anymore. This won't exist. We'll get rid of this list. We'll get rid of this list. Wait. Yeah, well, this will be fine. See, isn't that's strange as fuck. I remember that time. So this was like a while ago. I think I raided someone that you knew, Joker, and I couldn't hear his audio. It was on my side. It wasn't him. It was my problem. And I couldn't, unless I had to go to a different streamer and then go back to his, and then I could hear it. I finally figured out what it was. I had changed a setting in Firefox so that untrusted websites couldn't start broadcasting audio to my computer. And since every Twitch URL is like its own, website, each person is, it wouldn't work that way. And the reason I did that is because if you go to Twitch, If you go to Twitch, that happens. That happens. I fucking hate it. It just starts blasting you. And so I did that so that it wouldn't do that to me on Twitch. It whatever loud person is it's always like the most energetic. The craziest person is on the home page of Twitch. And so you would go to Twitch and blah, every fucking time. So yeah, that's why I did that. But I turned it off because it was causing so many. Because sometimes it didn't work for me to have to go back and forth. But yeah. I used to go to my buddy's stream, but whenever his stream sensor was loaded, after a little bit. Huh. That's definitely a. Did you ever figure out what the issue was? Did Crystal figure out his issue? Bumblebite, how's it going? Yeah, I usually mute my tabs. You know, like I do that, but you know, I forget every time with Twitch. I get blasted. Huh. That's so strange. It's going good. I was done with this part. I pushed my code, I exported, and then I noticed a bug, and then I thought of a better way to do it, I think. Everything that we worked on, like the last couple of weekends, I think I was like, wait, there's a better way to do this. That needs to be there. This won't need to be here anymore. Oh, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to the work. We're just doing construction right now. This is going to be kind of hard to test unless we do it to all of the things, though. I just finished revamping it. I just was finished, and I was so excited about moving to the next thing. But I think if this works, it will be better. And I have the energy, I think. So then when it gets to this... See, this isn't going to exist anymore. Oh, wait, this will exist. No, see, we can't do it this way, though. So what this was doing is if there was a hero... Okay, so we're going to have to... So last time... I said, oh, we could take off one, like if there was one hero, we would take off one person off the county improvement and assign the hero there. Instead of doing that, I was like, the laziest and the easiest way is just to take everybody off, and because then we're gonna have to, like, is there 3 heroes that are available? Then take 3 people off, and I was like, it's easier to just blow everybody away, get everybody off there and reassign them, and that worked because it's it's only like 5 people, whatever. But now that's not going to work. We're going to need to take off. Do we even need to do that at all, though, with the new sorting? Well, yeah, there would never be like 1,000 people on there, but it was still easier. But now it's not going to work. Wait, so if we go through, we have our list is already sorted. We just need to assign the heroes first. Oh, but then the next day, if there's already people working there, then we need to take them off. The first day always works. The next day is where the problem was. So we can't, we do need to count the number of heroes. What was the issue with counting the heroes, though? There was some reason why it was... There was some reason why we wanted to... There was an issue with counting the number of heroes. We have the list. Why can't I just say, get how many heroes are on here? I mean, it's not that hard. What was the problem? Why was I thinking that? Well, maybe I was like having some brain issues last couple of weekends. Every thought today has been like, why did I do it that way last weekend? There's an easier way to do it. I hope it's easier. What probably will happen is we'll run into something and I'll be like, oh, this is why I did it. But I'm gonna take a quick break, I think. I gotta pause my music that you guys can't hear. And I'm gonna put my break timer, and I will be back in less 5 minutes. All right, I'm back, and it's too warm where I am. I'm gonna close this vent 1 second. All right, now I'm back for real. And break timer's off. I think we're just gonna have to do the whole thing and then test it. I don't think there's a way to test it. I was thinking about this outside with just the builder. So let's just go through this. assign workers to prioritize list. So we have this list of prioritized workers. Is that what we're doing? It doesn't matter anymore. Oh, but we never, the prioritized hero list is not a thing. I was looking at it seemed like I was lagged out or something, but I'm not. So that we were just using the prioritized workers list the whole time. So it's going to be assigned to that, generate the improvement list, generate the prioritized builders list. Once again, I'm not sure if we need this. So if we do, because this takes them off of another spot. So how does it do this? Okay, so we have everybody on here, though, including people who worked at other places. I was trying to think if there's a way we can do this without having it do two lists, break it into two things, because this is a list of everybody that's idle. Or not even that. It's not even that's idle. It's just a list of everybody in the county that's not unhelpful and they're loyal. So then it's going to assign the prioritized builders to the improvement. We're going to rename that. This doesn't matter. This needs to just be the under construction thing. For each one of these, if county improvement data prioritized is equal to true, then we remove a person. What the fuck is this? What is going on here? Then this goes up here. But before we can do this, we need to assign the heroes. So assign prioritized builders to, so this is going to go through that under construction, because this is now, it will go through that same list. Oh, this is the hero part though. We can't do this. This is all fucked up now. This one is what we want. But since we're doing this same list, is this why I did two lists? Because it was just easier to manipulate? What problem was I trying to solve here? What was the beginning? What was the beginning of this? The beginning is that for the heroes was clearing the list. So we could go back to how it was. That's why I broke it into little list, was because it was easier. I think this might be better though. Man, I'm literally rewriting it back to sort of the way I had it. It's different, but the same thing. So we have this list of heroes, the hero workers. You have them on build, so they're prioritized over everyone else who's there. So we're gonna have a new one under hero work. We're gonna assign heroes to build improvement. We're going to have assign heroes. Look at this big thing. Public. So if we had just assigned the heroes, if you have three heroes and there's 3 places being built, one of them is prioritized. It's going to put all 3 heroes in the prioritized. Basically, what I'm finding out here too is my original ideas here are not very good. Because if there's all three are assigned to one, what happens if they all suck at building? I'm gonna have to rename the title of this video because it doesn't match at all what we're doing. So you assign a hero to construction. I'm kind of thinking that we don't take someone off the list. Think of it like this: if your boss suddenly said, "Hey, what can I do to help?" and there's everything's done, go, can you go sweep the floor over there? You kind of give him the shitty job because he's just going to be in the way. And so instead of removing him from the list, it would just stick him at the end of wherever if there's people already working there, it would, because they're already going to be listed too. And so instead of removing it all, it's just going to put him, if he can, because he's also might suck at yeah, we'll just do that. All right, so let's think about this. We're gonna fix what I already, I guess it wasn't broken. We're gonna improve what I wrote before. So let's go to this list. We go through this and we add this to, what is the name of this list? Prioritize hero builders list. We're gonna call this hero builders list. Oh, do we already have one of these? Yes. Okay. So we already have one of those. Hero builder list. So we can just get rid of this. This is going to go away. Hey, Crystal, how's it going? We were just talking about you. Some audio issue. And I was like, did he fix the issue? And then I don't know if Joker replied. He probably did. It's the worst. Audio issues are the worst. You know, I tell people this too, who ask me what I do at my job, because I'm an IT manager. Like they expect me to, well, I do some system analysis or something, you know. Mostly I help people with their audio issues, like a lot. Wait, I don't want to do that. Like that's a major thing that I do, is help people with their audio issues. To builders list. We're gonna do the same thing here. And then we have that. Because everyone has issues with VoIP. VoIP is like a thing that people... Didn't I delete the other one? I thought I deleted it. I commented out. Oh, I commented out the wrong thing. That is a problem. There's builders list, hero builders list. Where's the other one? Why are you have a problem? Oh, I must have renamed the wrong one. There's builders list. Mic not detect. The most common, that is a very common one. Another one is they can't hear anything, but it worked earlier. And that is usually, and this is like one of the banes of my existence, is some monitors, you know, with like HDMI or DisplayPort have audio, but they don't have audio. Like they think it has audio, so that when a person disconnects their laptop and replugs it in, it switches their speaker to their monitor, but their monitor doesn't have a speaker. That's extremely common. The mic not detecting is another thing it's usually not Bluetooth. I try to have it so that my coworkers don't use Bluetooth because that's a whole other huge problem. Bluetooth is just so shitty. It just doesn't work very well. I can't believe that it's like a thing that is sold, you know. And did it come out of their controller? Because I know that what are those? What did I buy my parents? I think it was a PS4 where they can talk through their controller. Hero builders list is what we want. I'm going to the top here, but this is a much larger thing here. So so this is what happened. This one is what I renamed. This should just be builders list. This should be hero builder list. Hero builders list. Yes, and then we don't need this prioritized heroes or prioritized builders. We do need the prioritized workers. We need this one actually. Where's there? Okay, and I renamed this one is why it was fucked up over there. So this one's gone. These ones we need. Those we need. Hero. Okay. I did buy my parents a PS4, and then if they didn't use it, I have two nieces, and I figured they could use it as well. I bought them Stardew Valley and Red Dead Redemption 2. And then later, I bought them Subnautica, and the only game they like is Stardew Valley. That's it. Red Dead Redemption was way too difficult for them to figure out the two sticks, so they couldn't control the camera and and Arthur moving around. Like that was way too much for him. And I didn't think that would be I didn't even imagine that would be a problem. But because I'm used to like when you hand someone a controller, they figure it out in like 2 seconds because they have experience with controllers. But my parents did not have experience with controllers. So they would like run forward, move the camera, run forward, move the camera, run forward, move the camera. And I was like, you got to move the camera while you're moving. Kids aren't into controllers. What are they used to? Just phones or iPads? Solitaire? I should have got them Solitaire. Subnautica they didn't like at all because they found it annoying that you ran out of air. And I was like, but that's like part of the game. And they're like, no, that's annoying. And I thought they'd be excited about exploring the underwater world of Subnautica, but no, it was and I didn't, it was too hard for them. Like, my expectations were way too high because I'm used to people who have experienced video games and they hadn't. My mom's like always telling me like, oh, I have $2 million in Stardew Valley. What do I do now? I'm like, I don't know. Like, 7 or 8 year. I bet you there's 7 or 8 year old though could learn it faster. And I really wanted them to. So they're into like nature conservancy and stuff. So I really thought they would like Red Dead 2 if they could get past the start. Like if they could get past the beginning, I thought they would really like the just riding around in the hills and stuff. And like that, like the kind of the story with Red Dead 2, where it's like the encroachment of the modernization and whatnot would like really hit where they lived, but they couldn't get past the beginning part. The train robbery at the beginning was just killing them. And I showed them. I was at their house and I got through it for them. And then I was like, now you try it. I like deliberately died at the end. It was like, now you try. And they're like, no, why did you do that? You should have just finished it. And, and that game will actually even let you, if you fail a bunch of times, it will let you continue. And that was the end of it, though. They didn't want to play it anymore. It's too hard. I mean, there's 70. Workday over for, well, all right, let's go back to what we were doing here. I'll sidetrack talking about video games. That's what I do. I get sidetracked talking about video games. All right, so let's double check this because I just fucked some stuff up. Hero builders list, perfect. I don't want to jump through these errors and just like change them because things have changed. So then we generate this improvement list, which is going to be sorted with the prioritized at the top. Let's see if this will work. So then next we generate the prioritized builders list, which is everybody. But let's make sure this is going to the prioritized builders list. Perfect. Then we assign the prioritized builders to the improvement. So this is where our first change. First things first is we try to assign the heroes first or second. If we go with the way I was just talking about, we would not remove everyone from there. We would put these guys second. So the population would come first, then, but remember that we've sorted this list now. So we would then go, is this list sorted? I think this list should be sorted as well. It is. Look, ChatGPT had us do it differently this time. This time's different than the other way we did it. You know, me and my friend were talking about that, and he doesn't play video games at all. And he said, what do you think it'll be like when we're 70 and like in an old people's home? I was like, we'll play a lot of video games. And he like laughed and he was like, no, we won't. I was like, well, I will. So yeah, I have a feeling that there could be something. They're like, yeah, put on this little helmet. Oh, no, don't make me put it on. I can't do it. I don't understand. How do I control it? You just use your mind, Dad. No, I don't have any kids. But just use your mind. What do you mean, my mind? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think, though, at least I don't have any kids, like I said, so I don't know how younger people are that much, but I would assume they would be better able to adjust than the older people. I would hope. All right, so we're going to assign the prioritized builders to the improvement, which is going to assign this group from this list, but we needed to do something here. For each one of these, if the county improvement data prioritized is equal to true, then we assign these people. Whoops. We assign these people. What do we got there? K and D. Then we're going to go with the population gets assigned first, and then this one gets assigned second. I do think some of the age stuff is weaponized incompetence, where because this does happen in my work. There's old people who are fine and they can learn whatever, and then there's other ones who are just like, I don't know how to do it. Can you do it for me? And it's like, no, I can't, but I'll show you how to do it. Yeah, exactly. You have flesh arms? Oh, flesh arms are dumb. You gotta get the robo arm. Yeah, that is gonna be interesting. So I was thinking about the term crash out. So this has appeared all over Reddit. Like everyone says, oh, this person crashed out. And I think the term is dumb, but I was wondering if it's because I'm old. Yeah, it just seems dumb to me, but is it an old thing? Is it because I'm old? All right, so this is going to go through, and if the county improvement, so we are going to be going through this list twice. Do we need to go through the list twice, though? It's back to this other thing. We do need to... Let's make sure that this is set up right. This is sorting them by the... This is sorting them by the best construction skill, and it removes them, updates their activity, and then it removes them from that list so that it doesn't go again at the end. Add normal population to improvement. We are not sorting the list till here because the heroes at the top of the list to start with. Not any... No. Crash out is like freak out. It's freak out, but with it's crash out. I think. So like whenever like a streamer or something has a freak out, they say, "Oh, he crashed out," and I don't know where that came from. I don't know where words come from anymore. TikTok? Do words come from TikTok? Like, who was the first person to say that? And then why? When did it become popular? Was it a song? Was it, like I said, a TikToker? So I think we have a different list here. We're changing the... All right, I need to... There's something fucked up here. Generate prioritized builders list. All right, so we have two separate lists. Still, assign prioritized builders to improvement. So we have changed my mind, and my mind... but you know, it's funny that you mentioned that, Bumblebite, because that is the way I've used crash out. I'm going to crash. I guess not crash out. I'm going to crash definitely means I'm going to sleep. But you could say crash out to go to sleep, and the person would understand it, but now it would mean something different. So we have this thing here. We are not sorting the list till here because the hero's at the top of the list to start with. So this doesn't apply anymore. We're sorting the list here. We should probably test this to sort is correct. Who gives a shit? Sort population by highest construction skill. Update the remaining worker slots. Add normal population to this. What list are we passing in? So this is the prioritized... Prioritized builders list. So this is the correct list. Then we have the worker slots. Then we go through everyone in the prioritized list that we've now sorted. We remove them from the county improvement that they're currently at. Which is fine. We add them all in here. And then we remove them from here. I think this is correct for this part. We're going to have to check when we do this again here. And this also assigns the heroes next. We're going to assign the heroes second. Assign heroes to build improvements. I feel like... Yeah, that too. Can I crash at your place? Definitely. It usually was, yeah, when you're drunk. But I guess it also would apply too if you didn't have a place to stay. You know, just if you needed to crash there. Assign heroes to the improvement. We're grabbing this because we have a different type of thing, so it's sliced this time, a different type of list. So we're doing the heroes builders list, which is what we want. We're assigning them to the improvement. I really think the heroes should go first, though. I tried to, can't think of the word, justify my changes to make it easier in my brain, but I don't think I agree with my justifications. Generate improvement list, generate prioritize builders list. Assign, let's put this guy back up here. So this is going to do only the prioritized builders. And the heroes are going to go first. But what happens is the second day, if you haven't assigned, if they're already assigned there, if there's already 5 people, let's say there's 5 max, if there's 5 people working there, the hero is not going to be able to be assigned because they're full. So it would go to the next one. I mean, maybe I'm overthinking this. Like, who gives a shit, right? Then we're going to, there is no longer a list there. The prioritized builders list is there. Then we're going to go back to, I'm not sure what this is yet. That's the generate the prioritized work improvement list. So this is, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to sort the list. So we're going to do generate work improvement list. There might already be one of these. We'll find out here in a second. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that each time I revamp it, it will be better and more stable, more. All right, I think we would just do this. But I do think I overthink stuff. Definitely, like, where I'm like, you know, does the hero need to come first or come later? He's supposed to be helping. See, here I am justifying to the easier code. The guy who's fixing the leak. He's fixed the leak, but he's redoing my whole bathroom. I can see him justifying, this is a better option. And I'm like, you would just want to do it this way because it's easier to do. Generate work improvement list. What are we doing here? All right, this is just we're going to rename this. I actually think I already have one of these. I guess not. Well, we'll rename it and then it will tell us. Add improvement to work improvement list. We're not going to do a prioritized one anymore. This needs to go to work improvement list. You don't exist. So let's go back. Let's save this. Let's go to the top. Work improvement list. Well, wait, we had a prioritized construction list. We don't need that anymore either. Oh, you know, we don't need either one of these because we're going to use these. So here, we already have this list. We already have this. So this is going to be gone. We don't need this because that's it. We already have that. You know, I like to overthink things when I'm following, not like my personal life or choices I've made, but it's like to overthink whatever, even video game design, you know, like, oh wow, wouldn't it be neat if I could do this when I'm falling asleep? But when I'm in the actual, I feel like I get stuck in like a logic loop, you know, like some machine or something. I'm totally changing this back to what I just changed this, and now I'm add improvement to work improvement list. We don't need this at all. So check if we already have this We do need this because we have this completed list, but it does need to check if the low stockpile of goods. So we do need another list. I know I just got rid of it. Come on. We do need another list that will be, we'll just get rid of these ones. Work improvement list. We will use that after all. Construction improvement list. You can't build things without prepaying. Yeah, so I like to tell myself stories, and I'm not talking about like jumping over, like the sheep jumping over, whatever the sheep do to make you fall asleep. I like write a novel in my head, and then I overthink about certain stuff, like whatever. Let's say it's a fantasy novel, and in the novel, the main character goes into a bar. I start overthinking, like, how does the bar get ale? Like, where does their ale come from in this story? And then I lay there and think, like, well, it's delivered from the brewer, and then the brewer, he needs to get wheat. They're like, where does the wheat come from? And it's like, and then the nitty gritty. And then I'm like, yeah, but if this place is an island, where did they get the iron to make the thing to harvest the wheat? So they need to have some sort of trade with another island, unless there's iron there. Well, where did the iron come from? Like, doesn't it need to have like a volcano or something so that there's iron available? Is the mountain made out of iron that the island is? Like I start like, and then I finally go back and it's like, maybe I just won't have that guy go in maybe the story's better without him going in and getting an ale. And well, I already thought out the economy, and but usually I fall asleep by that point. Then I gotta wake up in the morning and be like, where was I in the economic supply chain of the iron coming to the island? Did I decide it was a volcano? And sometimes, like in the morning, I'll look up like, where did iron deposits come from, or something like that, just to get like a better idea. It's kind of funny. I mean, I enjoy it a lot. All right, so let's go back to this craziness. So we generate work improvements, generates a list of improvements that have a good stockpile. So then we're going to add this to work improvement list, which I deleted because I said we didn't need it like 5 minutes ago. But we're going to rewrite it. I'm just trying to put it in a similar spot. Is the add person to work improvement. Public void. Add improvement to work improvement list. County data improvement data. I actually have this story that I think about all the time. I had a dream once where these like peasant farmers find a portal, and all these insect monsters start like flooding through the portal, and the insect monsters kind of look like the insects in Starship Troopers, the movie. And I was like, so when I woke up in the morning, I was like, that would be kind of an interesting story, like to write, where like there's these, like a medieval village that has to fight off Clindathu. It was, and they were like clawing through the portal. Like the portal was like a glowing circle in my dream. And they were flooding out. And I was like, that'd be an interesting story to write, like a short story about how like they, it could be like a horror story of how, there's let's say instead of a flood of them, there's just 100 or 10 of them, and You know, you don't need to explain where they came from then, and some magic that goes wrong or something. And I was thinking about it a lot, and I was like, well, what if I can make that story more boring? So, and I'm serious, that's what I thought. So I was like, what happens if you got rid of the aliens and they just find this portal? And they can go through the portal to this other place that's just some other place without humans. And I think about that story all the time. I'm not going to get any more details because it's like really boring. Of just them like chopping down trees and hunting and fishing and stuff. And I think about that story all the time because I think of new details and stuff because I really like that story. I don't think it would be anything I would ever write. Like I'm never going to write any of this shit, but it would be an interesting work improvement list. Add. There we go. Then we're going to put this back over here. So if their stockpile is not low, then they get added to the work improvement list. I see that red thing up there. I'm going to go back through and make sure that I didn't rename something wrong here. Add builder to builders, to hero builders list. Lord Mac, how's it going? Hero builders list. Then generate the improvement list. This is the generates under construction improvement list. Where is it? We're not really generating this. We're sorting it. Sort. Then let's just cut this out of here. Generate the prioritized builders list. That looks right. Builders. Add builders and heroes to improvement to prioritized improvements. So then it's going to, and if it's prioritized and it's on this same list that we've already sorted, we're going to assign them to here. We're just going to assume that that's correct. We're going to assign the population. And that's sorting them by that. So the first day it will assign the heroes first, but then after that it's going to assign the heroes to whatever's available. And I think that's fine. Prioritize construction improvement lists. I don't think we have that anymore. Clear prioritize builders list, which is we do have. Let's make sure that that's correct. Generate, I just had a thought. Let me look at this one. Is this pulling from the right? Hero builders list. Okay, that's right. Generate work improvement list. So this is building is done. Work. Build. TF2, the map voting always reverts back to older, established, and popular instead of the. How does is it voting just like most of those games where you can like when the match is over you just pick from like 3, or is it like one of the ones where you can pick from all the maps? Because a lot of times they'll do like a random thing. I played some of that Hell Let's Loose game, and you can vote, I think, between 2 or 3 maps. But there was this one map called, like, Bridge that was just absolute dog shit, and it would just always get voted in. 3 maps to vote from, and they're, like, they're randomly selected, supposedly. Generate work improvement. So this is, let's make sure this is going to the right list. Yes. And then this doesn't apply anymore. And it's kind of interesting that we have this. One of these, assign prioritized builders. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I was thinking we had these different, like this one has, you know, both things inside of it. We could actually get rid of this. We could get rid of this and put these two things in here. No, it is checking for prioritized stuff. All right. Yeah, that's the problem with letting people vote, right? They always pick the dumb shit. I'm kidding. Uh, yeah, I do. What was that game, Battle Bit? It's pretty much dead now, but for a while it has a similar thing, and I feel like I would always play the same maps. I wonder, you know, I used to play America's Army back in the good old days, and I can't remember how the voting with that worked, or if it just randomly, or if you just picked one map or something and just always fought on them. I feel like you always just play that. You picked a map at the beginning, like when you started the matches, and you just kept playing that same map. But things do get old. That Delta Force game, they had a very limited number of maps. I don't know if it still does. It was definitely, you would just be like, oh fucking A, this map again. And it would be that. So some of the maps in Delta Force, I don't know if they're still like this, were very unbalanced. So it'd be like, if you got the defense or whatever, you just get annihilated. And it would be like you'd be playing that same map, hoping not to get the defense. It's way beyond the which part? Assign heroes to building improvement. Wait, I'm in the wrong spot here. So generate prioritize workers list. We do need to do this. This is going to generate another list from the population data once again, because the other one was for, and we're going to call this prioritize workers list. Is that what we decided? This should be in county data. So we have builders and workers. So that's what's, yeah, workers and builders. And this looks like it's already set up to work correctly. This is all correct. All right, assign workers to improvement. This is to prioritize improvements, though. So we're no longer doing this, though. We're doing the county improvement. And what is it? Did I call it work improvement list? This is just, we don't do this anymore. We are going to put the heroes at the top, but it's not going to happen. We got to stop them from kicking everybody out of the. Staleness in old maps. So I'll be given a sense that there's still a decent amount of community maps and mods coming out. Well, TF2 has been around for 150 years. I think I was a baby when that game came out, right? It was just a gleam in my daddy's eye. I'm exaggerating, obviously. It's not that old. And I think I mentioned one of my coworkers really into that game. That game in what's that fighting game where you jump around? Is that a good way? Mario Kart? No, it's not Mario Kart. It's Smash Bros. There we go. It took a while to get through the brain there. Smash Bros was the one he was into. Ultima Online it is definitely pretty old. Is it? It's still up too, right? From what I understand. Assign workers to prioritize improvements. I just keep thinking that there's a much easier way to do this if we could figure out. We could do this in one fell swoop. So we go through and we hit the prioritized list. We have a list of workers. And we're generating this list of not idle workers, it's people who are doing anything. And it takes them off their old thing. There's like a really simple way to do this, but the problem is I have it set up. Man, I know I keep going in circles here. Assign population to, so wait, let's look back. The difference, let's see. So you have like a bunch of stuff being built. One of the things is prioritized. It goes through the list. It's always going to be at the top. It assigns the people and it removes them from where they used to work. Then it goes to the next group and it sorts them and they start working there. And then it goes to the next one. You start building a new one. And then let's say it's a garden. So I'm visualizing this. I'm not ignoring you guys in chat. I got to visualize this for a second. I guess I am ignoring you, but I'm only going to ignore you for a second. So when we did that thing with the garden, so how it's sorted, but it wouldn't move them. I don't think we need to do all this extra work. Street Fighter 2, yeah, Street Fighter 2 is really old. I remember playing that stand-up. The first Smash Brothers is from 1997, so that is really old as well. The guy at my work had a special controller for it, like an original whatever. I guess he was saying like that's the pros use the controller, the good controller. All right, so I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back through one of these changes I made, and we're going to make it different again. I don't think it matters. I think we should just do it. We should do it as simple as possible right now. We can add some more complications in later. I don't think it's going to actually have a big effect on things. So what we'll do, when we generate the prioritized builders list, we're checking if they're loyal or whatever. And then we generate this list, add population data to prioritize builders list. I don't actually think we need to do this. I mean, we probably do, but I think, actually, let's put this back. Go back. We might have to fuck around with that later. But I think what we can do is just make one list. Because I sorted that thing. To go inside this thing first. So now we have the builders list. I think it was GameCube. I think it was a GameCube controller. I probably could look it up. Smash Bros. Controller. GameCube controller. Yep. That was the one. And you know that there's a stereotype that people who are into Smash Bros. Smell really bad, which I think is a strange stereotype, but this guy actually smelled really bad. I have no idea why that's a thing. Like BO, but the BO wasn't that bad. It was kind of like he shit his pants all the time. It was strange. Not like full on shit his pants, but like maybe he little squirt in his pants or something. It was quite strange. Assign working heroes to prioritize list. So we're not going to do that either. But I think we already changed this. Yeah, so we're just going to have this the hero builder list. We're going to keep this simple. Assign worker, working heroes to hero workers list. Hero builders list. Hero builders. Sort under construction improvements. Generate prioritize builders list. No, this is just going to be generate builders list. And that there might be in one already called that. Assign prioritize builders to improvement. No, we're going to assign builders to improvement. Whoops, let's put this back. Nope. I fucking went too far there. Too many control Z's. Assign builders to improvement. And this might get a red thing as well, but it hasn't so far. So it's going to assign the workers or the heroes, and it's going to assign the population, because we've sorted this list at this point, and they should just get a sign, and the heroes will get whatever. We don't need to prior because we don't clear prioritize builders list. There is no prioritize builders list anymore. I just accidentally hit Control A. Not what we wanted. Work, generate work improvement list. We don't need to do this anymore. We need to sort the list. Sort work improvement list. And then we're going to go back to our work improvement thing, or our under construction thing here. And we're going to go this, but we're going to change this to completed. Here, we'll get this. Let's actually undo what I did here. All of these forward. I still don't know the hotkey for this. Should be completed. Completed. I don't remember what it was. Go to the top. Completed. What's your problem? Oh, are you changing this in other spots? I just want you to change it in here. Here, I'll just do it manually. Make sure I'm not fucking something up here. Good, some weird thing is happening. It's weird to me. I think that we overdo the deodorant thing, but I do wear deodorant. I don't know what the deal with that guy was, because like he was regular, like he was just a regular dude. And he didn't actually smell that bad until I got in a car with him, and then it was just it was so bad in the car with him. It was current amount of work. What do we got? Amount of work? What did we call it? Amount. Current amount all day. Oh. Oh. How are we doing this? So for this sort, we're going to have to sort it by prioritized. It might be called work units or something. I don't remember. It's on here somewhere. Uh, oh, it's under. There's like a production thing that was in there, like a whole other thing, a whole other public class. But what we're gonna want to do, we got to think about how we want people to work places because the construction one. It makes sense. So prioritize comes first. So I was sitting there in deep thought there because so this is going to make people move around a lot. So with construction, it kind of works. With work improvements, it doesn't work as well, but we just got to figure out a way to make it work. Because it's going to rearrange. It's going to take them off of where they were working and have them move to a new place. And then we've talked about like loyalty and stuff. But we're going to make that better in the future. But we could try to work that into here. So we could sort it. So what's going to happen is... So we did this, how we did it before was they did like a daily work check, loyalty check, and then if they were above a certain amount, it just happened, and then they did a weekly work check or loyalty check. So that's what I was thinking is like maybe we want to have it prioritized by like whatever is the lowest. So they would move, like they would check the resource of what the output resources are and find the lowest resource, and then it would sort by that, whatever has the lowest resource. But we need it with the loyalty checks in there. How do we generate this list? I don't think it's doing a loyalty check. It is doing some sort of check. Did I delete it in my flurry of deleting? It's actually... So it's checking if they're loyal here. So that will have them do nothing. So if their loyalty is low, they'll do nothing. Like they won't scavenge, they won't build. Which is kind of fine. Which is what we want. What is this check? Is it just a... Yeah, so if this is if they're just below a certain number. Lowest average weekly balance for resources. We don't have a way to get weekly balance right now. We have daily, and the day before, where's our sorting here? So it does check a loyalty thing, and that would kick them off a job. So I think we need to sort it by lowest, like yesterday's. I'm changing how the whole game works here, and that was not the plan this morning. I was very excited about moving on to hero inventory, but that one bug made me rethink everything, which is not necessarily a good thing. I'm going to take a break here in a second. But we could work out some of the other weirdnesses. So this is the problem that I'm thinking. We're going to have guys like, as you build stuff, things are going to jump around. The people are going to jump around. And though I want the people to jump around, one of the issues I have with Victoria 3 is how people jump around. Maybe this is like a future problem. Like I want your workers. So one of the main issues I have with Victoria 3 is your workers will do dumb shit. They'll keep working in a place or they will whatever. Like it feels like they don't jump around enough. Uh, and other times they jump around too much. And I want to avoid that. But I think so. What I was thinking while we were, and tell me, guys, tell me what you chat, tell me what you think about this. We haven't programmed this in at all, and this is way far in the future, but this is what I was thinking with this sorting thing. We sort a list, but then we have a loyalty to the owner of the company or the owner of that building. Because that's kind of what it is in real life. You're more loyal. You're not loyal. I mean, I guess there are some shitbags who are loyal to corporations, but the average person shouldn't be loyal to a corporation. They're more loyal to their boss. You know what I mean? Like where I work now, I would feel bad if I suddenly just like ghosted them because I feel like they gave me a job and stuff, you know. But when I worked at Kinko's, which is a giant corporation, I'll ghost those fuck those guys. Fucking dirtbag corporation scum fuckers. Whoa. Anyways, so I was thinking we could have it at some point check the loyalty to the boss of that, and it wouldn't necessarily it'd be like the manager of that building, that county improvement, because you can have a good manager that works for a shitty corporation that makes you loyal to them. So we could do that, but that would be in the future. These are just like future ideas. So with this sorting thing, right now we would sort it by the people would work with the lowest resource first, but then we would also need to check what the the buildings, we'd have to sort it by low. We'd have to figure out a way to make it, because we can't just check what's the lowest resource and then then we get the county improvement, because you might not have a county improvement that builds that. Though I guess we could. It's just a number. Oh, but it's not going to work either, because primitive scouting equipment is always going to be a very low number. We had some sort of weird threshold or something if it's below a threshold. So workplace loyalty minimum level that would decrease the bigger the workplace got. That isn't what I was thinking of, but that's a good idea, because after a while you just feel like a cog in the machine. You know what I mean? Like you're just one of a number that could be fired at any second, you know, because you're nobody to the owners. Yeah, we're gonna have to work out some crazy shit at some point. But I'm gonna take a quick break. And then I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me pause my music that you guys can't hear. Dead Kennedys are playing. All right, I'll be right back. All right, let's see here. Let me turn on my break timer. Lord Mac, I've been watching this other streamer named Squib play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and we're always talking about, me and you are always talking about cities that seem alive in video games, and you know there's just people like standing around doing nothing all the time. But in that game it seems like people are doing work and stuff. They have things that they do, like they're alive, the village is doing something. He ran into somebody pulling a cart and he could ask the guy if he could get a ride on the cart. It was pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed with that game so far from what I've seen. A lot of talking in it. You just run around talking to people. Look at this. I'm thinking that maybe I revert back to the place where I pushed from before. And I say fuck it, and we fix that one problem where we just have it so that the heroes don't clear the list. They just get added to the end of the list. That would be the easy solution for this problem, and then we deal with it later. Because they were kind of already, it was kind of already working. And so, yeah, how do I do that? How do I revert back? GitHub, revert back to previous commit. That's why I committed before I did this. Oh, it's so bright on my eyes. No, I just want to revert my local thing. I want to revert all these changes. Oh, it's right here. Project. Undo changes. I think I'm just going to undo these changes. I'm going to fuck it. Yeah, I do. I want to undo them all. What's going on over here? Now let's see what happens when I run it. Is it going to shit all over the place? And this is the second time I've done this. Had to revert back where I was just like, you know what? I'm going down a road of insanity here. I think that will be the best option. All right, it still runs. So this is the problem we were trying to fix here was, and I think there's an easier way we could fix this, is we construct two of these. Because I was thinking about it outside, and I was like, man, we're going down a path. This is going to need everything is going to need a rewrite at some point. But we're going down a path where it doesn't matter. What we're doing doesn't even matter. Usually when I close that, I can get to my close button, but I guess I moved this. Then we put you on build. And then we run you at like 4 speed. And see it works. Oh, I forgot to prioritize a place. That was the thing. We wanted to prioritize 2. And then we let it run to 3. See, so we have 1 day where it's not prioritized. Well, it's prioritized, but he's not working first. And then on this day, he will be. Oh, well, we have to change him to work. Wait another day here. Yeah, so now this first day is wrong. And now I think it will fix itself on the second day. And I think the issue is we don't want to. Yeah, that's what it does. So I think there's an easier way we fix this. And that's what we just don't care. We don't care about. We can leave this all like this. I mean, I should have done this 2 hours ago. This whole fucking stream. I've accomplished nothing. I guess I learned something. Not really. It's here where, no, it's not here. It's here where we remove everyone from the buildings. That's what's throwing everything off here. Yeah, I did. I accomplished by talking about dreams. Everyone hates hearing about dreams, and I agree. I'm in agreement with this thing we're gonna get rid of here. That listening to other people's dreams it's kind of boring. But there, I went and did it anyways. All right, let's see what happens if we just get rid of that remove. I think what should happen then is the hero is going to be put at the end if there's a possibility for him to work there. I don't think that day will happen, that day of weirdness. I think. And we need to prioritize one. Forgot about that step. So he also needs to be set on build. 3 a.m. See, so now this is right. So what was happening before is it would be good for the first day. The second day would be fucked up, and then it would go back to being good because he was clearing things off. Let's speed this up, I think. So now this is still correct. So I think what we got to do to test this again, I guess I could have just ran this, was we start everyone working. Like a lot of these little problems, I don't even know if they're problems. It's one of those things where I might just be being too anal. We're going to build 2 of these things. We could prioritize one, sure. And then we're not going to assign the hero to do anything, though. We're just going to let it run here. And so now we have builder. There's 5 people there. The next day, whoops. Next day, there's still 5 people there. Now we're going to set, well, we'll let this finish building. Oh, I keep doing that. What is going on with my brain here? Uh, 5 people are working on the shed, which is what we want. Then we're going to put him on work. And I think it should put him now on the shed 1 because shed 2 is already filled. And that's what I was trying to avoid, but I don't think it matters. Okay, it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. But you know, it could have happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's still 5 people working there. What could have happened is one of these people could have failed like a roll. Let's see what happens on the next day. I mean, that works. That's good enough. That's good enough. We don't give a shit. Okay, I do give a shit. But that works, and we didn't get any bugs, right? No. All right. So that's fine. We're going to get rid of that. And we'll just deal with it in the future. And then we can, in this last 40 minutes, we can start setting up the UI for the inventory. Because there's a way I want to do it. There's a specific way that I think, because this is the part that I'm like stealing from Hearts of Iron. All right, not stealing. I'm inspired by Hearts of Iron. All right, so let's go back to our list here where I got sidetracked sorting shit. All right, we are there. I had already marked it off as fixed, and then we weren't fixed. Oh, because we exported it. So let's save this. Let's push this to main. This, we got to put this here. Reverted and removed 2 lines of code instead of rewriting. There we go. See, that took 2 seconds. And it just because I had to change my mental opinion on things. Now we're going to push this to main. I hope. Get. Then I think we got to switch. What's up with this hero inventory? I think we got to switch to this one. Then we merge this one. Then we push this. Did that work? Then we'll look on here, and we're going to delete this other. We're going to delete this old branch that's called the same branch that we're about to switch to. We don't want to be on projects. I think I did something wrong here. Dev 5, yeah, this didn't. We aren't on main here. Did I have it set up? No, I didn't merge this right. Right click. Merge heroes activity into main. Merge. Oh, maybe I did make it so that I couldn't just push over to main. I thought I changed it. I thought I just had it in the Wild West, so I could push right to main. But maybe I didn't. This is the way you're supposed to do it, you know. We're gonna say hero activities, scavenge, build, and work are now working. And I don't think we'll actually put it like a release. Maybe I should do a release. It seems like a lot of work for the tiny amount of stuff. I mean, it's not a tiny amount of stuff, but maybe we should. It doesn't take that long. I didn't want to go there. So let's look at these branches here. I'm going to delete this one. Delete this one. I think I made it so you couldn't do that because that's like I try to do it the best practices way. You know, like where you're not allowed to push it straight to main. I forgot. I'm thinking that I did that. Because I wanted it. So while I'm doing this, I'm trying to like learn the correct way. You know what I mean? Like if I got a job doing this, not that I would want a job doing. I don't know. I guess the thing is, I think anyone who hired me would feel ripped off. They would be like, what the fuck, man? This guy doesn't know anything. I'd have to be like a junior developer. They would give me all the shitty stuff. I guess we'll also export this. And we'll do the correct way. Just so it looks what? I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like, how do I do? I can push a branch. That's the thing. I would have to have a mentor, you know, someone who'd be like that I could ask all these questions to. So the guy who was repairing my house or whatever, he was asking me because he knew that I worked construction for a couple of years, and I must have mentioned it to him or something. I don't remember. But he was like, well, when you got the job, you must have known something about construction. And I was like, not really. And that first day, man, not being able to, like, I pretended like I knew what I was doing to get the job. There was no job interview. I just showed up and my friend worked there and they're like, to start going and screwing off this wall. And I had no idea what I was doing. And I kept asking the guy next to me if I was doing it right or whatnot. And I was just annoying the shit out of him because it wasn't his job to train me. There's no training. And that's what I would be doing if I would be asking, you know. Same thing, except that this is probably more difficult. This is definitely more difficult than that because that was just screwing screws 6 inches apart on the wall. Look at this. There's an error. Was it not done when I closed it? It's crashing now. It's because I reloaded those files. Getting a different number of these things now too. Let's close this. We know the cure for this, maybe. It was pretty terrible. The job was. It was pretty awful. There was definitely not much thought to that part. When you get more into it, there's definitely a lot like more thought and stuff like that particular job. I'm not talking about like even on the construction site, there was people who had to know what they were doing. Okay, so it's running this time. We didn't get anything, so I think we got to re-export it. I was sitting there in silence. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying though, that something that's not like you get to use your hands and stuff, but the people sucked. It was one more time. Export project. Save. This worked like earlier in the stream, so it should work again. I guess I didn't really test it very much. Is this thing running? Yeah, it's running. I mean, I tested it earlier. All right, where's my console? We could probably get rid of some of this console stuff, but this looks like this. Whoops. That looked good enough for now. So let's go back to this. We got to do a new release. We want to zip this up, if I remember correctly. I want to... Yeah, there's... Oh, they're right now. I renamed it, too. You know, I have two friends that are... Well, I guess they're coworkers that... Two coworkers who are truckers. And they have, like, tons of trucker stories. This is going to be 5. And then we're going to go back to here. We can delete 4. See, this is only like a month ago, so this is the way we want to do it, is have like these monthly, like they're a lot smaller. Choose a tag or create a tag. What is my last one? Can I duplicate this and not fuck shit up? It was just version 0, whatever. That was what I called the release title? No. 2D 4X with a space in there, huh? Version 0.0.5. So I actually had another friend too who did like short haul trucking, and he actually really liked that. The long haul guys, they had their story. They're a married couple. Their stories are both good and bad, and they wrote a book about it. It's called like Trucker Punk. Punk Trucker. I doubt they have a Facebook thing. This looks like there's like a band called that. But they have like crazy stories. You know, some of them are good and some of them are bad. All right, so I did describe this release. Didn't I? Isn't there like a checkbox? This is a pre-release. It generates, yeah, generate release notes. That's perfect. We need now to put this thing in here, and sometimes this bugs out, I noticed. Is there a zombie survival trucker story? Is that what that was? Theirs is not a zombie survival. I don't think it is. Yeah, the short haul guy loved his job. I don't know what happened to him. Like, you know, we drifted apart. Publish release. All right, so that part's done, except I want to delete this other release, which I think I can do from right here, but I want to make sure, I don't know why I always do this, make sure that the, you know, the release, the new release is here. And it is. I think we can just do this. Now I can't delete the tag until you delete this part. You got to go in, trash this, release, and then you go back to here, I think, and then you delete the tag. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Like once a month would be great to do, because like I was saying, I think people, obviously not that many people look at it, but if you look, for me, if I look at a GitHub and I look at the main and I glance at the dates over here, and if I see that 6 months have passed and and there's no updates, and I'm like, oh, you know, I never even look at the fucking other branches usually, unless they tell me, unless, you know, there's a thing that says, oh, we actually use dev branch, whatever. So there's that. All right. How much time do we got? This is perfect. What? We're gonna ignore that. That could be something important. All right. So for this now, we need to go to the hero thing, or we can start like prepping for the next step. For some reason, I can't click on anything. I can't stop it. I think we found a bug. We are in the beta 3 version here. Yeah, exactly. In a lot of projects, I feel like have died. You know, that's the thing with open source, is that people pour their heart into stuff for years, and then, yeah, we can't get out of this. We're stuck forever. We got to just play this. They pour their hearts and soul into something, and then they get tired of it, as you would expect. I'm gonna pop up the task manager. That's true. You can. You totally can. And you know, when I used to do the tutorials all the time, a lot of them were dead projects, but the tutorial still worked. You'd have to like go through and fix a few bugs. Let's sort this by name here. What are you doing, task manager? You're going real slow, task manager. Oh my God. So occasionally my task manager does that, where there's this like slight lag, but not that. That was crazy. There we go. Godot, that wasn't very impressive. Look at this thing, it's still up. Let's go back to the task manager. I read today on a lot of people were complaining about Godot crashing with this Dev 3 version, or sorry, Beta 3 version, and I was like, really? I haven't had any crashes. And then here we are. I don't know what the other one would be called. 2D4X? That would have been at the top, right? Past G. Where am I going? I was hoping, it's always something. I always want like to fix some issue, or there's something that's happening and I'm like, yeah, this is the one I want. So I go up to the new version and it brings other issues with it. I want to get to a point where, and we might be there because it had, so the original reason I went to the newest version, it was like dev whatever, was because I wanted those dictionaries, which are, so I could do this wherever. We'll get to one. We'll get there. All right, I've gone too far. We'll get to it. Back down to it. Right here. Fisher shed. So that in the inspector, I could do these key values and input goods, these dictionaries. Because they didn't have that before, and it makes designing these improvements and other things like that way easier if I can do the dictionaries like that. So you could look at it and you can see like, oh, the input is 1 wood or whatever, and you could change it on the fly. Well, sort of. So that's why I went to the very, very cutting edge, but then there was other bugs that I wanted to fix, and so I've just been, now I'm stuck going on the other, fixing, each thing brings in a new issue that you got to wait for, and I think that these errors will go away because eventually they'll release something, but I hope at least. But once again, and once it's stable, I'm not gonna be that on the cutting edge. What were we doing here? Oh, we were gonna look at this. You read all text resource. Oh, you don't use their built-in resource function? The Godot resource? Why do you not use it? That sounded slightly accusatory. It wasn't meant to be. We want to go to... See, having this Godot editor thing in here is... See, like it said, we modified all these in this temp folder. Hate it. Hate it. We're going, so the place where this is going to live, and we haven't put any background stuff. I'm just trying to get some like basic things in here, is this population description panel. So this is where we're going to add some stuff to it. So what we should do, so it's going to be right over here. On the right-hand side, we're going to have like an inventory. It's not going to be, like what they wear on their head or whatever. It's just going to be like what equipment they have. It will be, like I said, kind of inspired by Hearts of Iron, where they'll have like basic infantry equipment, but there'll be a few different slots for it. So we want to put in these slots here somewhere. And I was thinking about this a little bit. Probably an array is the way to go, but I might just label them, just have them sitting on their own. Except we can't for each through them then. So we'll have to figure that out too, but it shouldn't be that difficult. I've done inventory before and it's worked out fine. I haven't done any settings, or saving games is coming up here. Now that I'm going to say a couple months out, but it's probably like a year. And then this is not, I have this globals file with all this crap. This should probably be definitely, so I was going to use JSON, but then, Stinglewinks, he comes into chat sometimes. He was, mentioning YAML. I don't know if that's a, oh, I know what this is. Yeah. Wait, this is beta 3 already. Who cares? But he was talking about YAML, and I don't know what's best. It just readability for humans is what I'm looking for. So what were we doing? Why were we going over here? We're gonna have to add yeah, this is where we need to be, not over there just yet. So on the right-hand side, so we have different things in different panels here. We're going to have a right-hand panel. We're going to add a new thing above here. That's another fear I have, which is probably unfounded, is that things will change dramatically and I'll have to refactor the code because of something that something gets abandoned or something. We're gonna have so this is a V box. Inside this V box, let's add. So are they gonna be labels? So we're gonna need some. Is it easy to, I mean, I guess it's easy regardless, but I was going to say to read and write XML. But I guess, once you get it to work once, it works for everything. Let's do this ugly, and then we'll readjust from there. We'll add in, so we're going to need a checkbox, basically. We're going to need some H boxes. I got to get in my H box mind here. So we're going to have an H box 1 with a checkbox, and then we're going to have a label in that checkbox. I have a lot of checkboxes, and then we're going to need to open up the localization file here, wherever it is. We're going to need a title too. Your game's a lot more complicated. Than you're doing like 3D shit and stuff, right? More complicated than mine is what my sentence. I was going with my sentence and I interrupted myself. So what we're going to want to do, I feel like I haven't done this in a long time. And I like my layout and stuff. I can't even remember. Fill. No, that's Phil is right. We want you. Whatever. Let's just put a thing in here. We want this centered. But we want this. Why can't I remember how this works? There we go. Yeah, I always feel like 3D is way more complicated. It's definitely, there's a bunch of crazy shit in here. So I'm trying to think, I wanted to definitely get to this part so I could mentally, I have all these ideas or different ideas of how this is going to be laid out, but I just need the basics for it. It's just going to be basically a list where you checkbox. We could use one checkbox for the whole thing. So what I'm talking about here, we're going to have the hero itself. You're not going to be picking their inventory. You're not going to say, oh, this guy gets a sword and this guy gets a battle axe or whatever. Not that we're using those type of weapons, but what you're going to tell them is this guy gets the newest equipment or not. That's what this checkbox is. And I was thinking originally that you would put that on each piece of equipment, like this one, but I was just thinking, why would we put it, you would just put it on this guy gets the best equipment or not. They just get whatever, or they get the highest quality. Because it's going to be like the tech in Hearts of Iron where you just improve. But like in Hearts of Iron where there's this like older tech floating around and you give it to like the shitty guys and you have them like be like militia and stuff. You just kind of like they're guarding the home front. That's what I kind of want to do with this. So it's just going to be his army gets the best stuff or not. So I think one checkbox for that actually is going to work. So we'll put a thing in here. We're going to have a phrase newest equipment. And then we'll pop this open and we'll do newest equipment. And I would put a question mark at the end of this, but we decided we didn't want to do, well, it looks like I did an exclamation point there. We will put a question mark on here then. Then we're going to translate this. You know, who was I recently someone so I haven't streamed on my other channel for a while now, like a month or something. I just got burned out on it in the video games that none of the games looked fun, even though they're probably great. I just didn't feel like playing them. But recently somebody else was telling me about being given up. And luckily my goals for this are different than my goals for the video game one. This one I had very low expectations. Yeah, they're all indie games that I stream on my other channel or used to stream or whatever. It's just, I don't know what the deal is, why they all look dumb to me. This happens occasionally where I just look at everything that looks like shit. Like it's not the game, it's me. So this is going to be newest equipment here. And we're going to go back to here. We're going to leave this as one checkbox. We're going to put this label as newest equipment. We're going to rename this label newest equipment. So well, when this is checked, it will be all of the new equipment. Then after this, though, we're going to have a list of the equipment that he has equipped. And we're going to write it so that as if we have the ability to make all of this, or the game has the equipment in it. But we don't actually have all of that. So we're going to add another label onto this thing. It's going to just be a test label. Well, let's do the list, and then we'll put the translations in here. Scouting equipment is one. Why aren't you centered? Centered. So we need scouting equipment. And then we're going to need armor. Armor. You know, I've rated a couple of people and I've talked to a couple of people. I probably should broaden my horizon. I read Reddit a lot, and I feel like a lot, I know we've talked about this before, I'm pretty sure a lot of the developers think that there's big money and their ideas for their games are like shady money making dirt, money making trash. It's strange. That's like I mean, I guess maybe maybe you can make huge shovelware games and make a bunch of money, but so then we're gonna have armor, weapon, scouting equipment, armor, weapon. We're thinking military here. You know, like night vision maybe, but that would probably be under scouting equipment. That would be like a bonus to scouting equipment. No, no, the microtransaction battle pass decade. The battle pass thing still confuses me. Like I look every time I see those, I'm like, am I supposed to buy this? And why am I, what is going on here? So let's imagine our heroes. They have armor, weapons, and scouting equipment. I felt like I had like a lot more items for this, but I think that's it. I want it to be somewhat simplistic. So what Hearts of Iron, what else are you making? You're making like tanks and stuff, but this is equipment for the guys. And the armor, is going to be like combat armor or like current combat armor, not like knights and shining armor. I think it's just these three items. And then the weapon will be like, primitive crossbow or, then you'd get better. You'd be assault rifle. It wouldn't be, we're not going to do exactly like M16s, we're going to do like an assault rifle Mark 1 or whatever. Modern assault rifle, futuristic assault rifle. Okay, it's not going to say that. But I'm almost just say scouting. What's another word for scouting equipment? Another word for scouting equipment. Reconnaissance, survey, exploratory gear, because you're going to use the scouting equipment for exploring. Maybe some sort of medical thing. Maybe we do this, actually. So scouting equipment we'll leave there. Auxiliary equipment, which could be like you can assign like, yeah, exactly. You could sign like some sort of medical thing in there. And that you could have the auxiliary equipment. Let's duplicate one of these. Medical equipment, and then let's do this isn't all change, but medical, then like then an auxiliary at the very end we'll do aux. Stingle Wings, how's it going? We were just talking about YAML. I love naps. Auxiliary. There we go. I cut that. It is post-apocalyptic, yeah. So, but in one of the things I want to have different factions that like, like a vampire faction and stuff like that, a druidic faction. So one of the things that I am auxiliary equipment, which is, this is way far away, but I want to have the, like have these things work with all of them, with all of the different things. So the faction is the main faction that we're doing, which is like the base faction, is gonna, you're gonna be more technologically oriented. I don't think I want to get into like power armor and stuff like that, but like improved guns, improved, tanks and stuff like that. While the druidic one would use like crossbows maybe or some things like that. No zombies, but yeah. Exactly. And that's going to be one of the things that we're working towards right now is the exploration thing, is where they'll search for and find old gear. And so that's where this newest equipment comes in, is like, you might not want this particular leader to use the newest equipment because you have a limited amount of it. All right. So I think these are good. And we can put this in array if we need to. How much time do we have? 3 minutes? Let's do the localization real quick. So these are some are gonna be, so we're gonna have a phrase. I feel like I have a phrase already for scouting equipment. And I would be wrong. Really? primitive scouting equipment, but I don't have a... I don't have a thing. It could be recon. So the one of the things with the scouting equipment with the leaders is it also helps you explore. I can't believe I don't have a... This is going to sound strange, but I'm going to look up the definition for reconnaissance. I know what it means, but I want to see if it works. Yeah, it's military. I think I'm just going to use it scouting for now. We can always change this shit later. Nothing's written in stone. I just can't believe I don't have a phrase for that. I have a phrase for everything else. Man, except... Yeah, so primitive scouting equipment, which is what we're calling it right now, we're going to have to rename that to something else. It's going to have to be renamed, or it can't be primitive scouting equipment because that's doesn't make the you know, you have the title is it's a scouting equipment, then you have primitive scouting equipment. It needs to be like binoculars or something, you know, like that. I'm just typing this crap in here. Next one we need is medical equipment. We definitely don't have that as a phrase. And that will give you like bonuses to not dying. And then medical, then we have armor. Yeah, it's single works. Yes, YAML. We were talking about YAML. And then we need weapon. We know that. And then the last one was auxiliary equipment. I don't know how to spell that shit. Auxiliary equipment. Armor equipment. Weapon equipment. I mean, we can do equipment. Bumblebee was saying he uses XML, and I said for like saving settings and things. And I was saying I don't know what I'm going to use, but I was planning on using JSON. But then Stinglewinks was talking about YAML. And that was pretty much the whole conversation. I don't know anything about any of that shit. Probably should at this point. Tomol. There's so many of them. You figure that there would just be 2. You know what we could do instead? Maybe I'll do this tomorrow. We could do defensive equipment, offensive equipment, scouting, medical, and auxiliary equipment. And then, so it wouldn't say armor, your defensive equipment. And if we decide to go to like power armor and shit like that, but your defensive equipment could be, you know, like basic none, basic combat armor, you know, like stuff like that. And then we could put recon equipment up there, and then we can do primitive scouting equipment. Yeah, and this is once again something that I'm agonized over that doesn't really matter. So let's go get rid of this stuff. And let's go to my project and let's add in what we're going to do tomorrow. And then we'll push this code here. We are set up localization for the 5 different inventory slots. That's our first thing here that we're going to do tomorrow, because I'm going to forget. Move to top. Let's push this shit. Oh, come on. I haven't heard of any of these things. So I basically, XML, of course, I've heard of because it's used for tons of like web stuff. So even like if you're, if you do IT stuff, something gets barfed out as XML all the time. You run some sort of debugger, or there's a log, it's XML sometimes. And then I heard about YAML from you. All right, we can close this. And we're going to push this to a new branch called Hero Inventory. We're going to do that. And then we're going to say started setting up UI with inventory slots. I wonder if we should put what the bonus is for the inventory slot. I wonder if we should make it a button so it's clickable and you can go look at it. What is the name of this song that I'm listening to? It's called Troops of Tomorrow, but the chorus is just fuck the USA over and over again. It's by The Exploited. Oh, wait, maybe the name of the song is USA. And Troops of Tomorrow is, yeah, the name of the song is USA. That's funny. All right, this is pushed. I'm going to raid someone. I'm trying to raid someone every time now. Let me look over here. This is muted. Let me look over here. Nobody I know is online, so we'll do it the old school way. Go back over here. How is it? So I saw somebody else raid somebody, and they seemed to get a list of all of their friends very easily that were online. All right, let's take a look here. But yeah, that's it for me today, and we'll tomorrow we're going to work on this some more, and hopefully I won't spend 2 hours and then revert all my changes. Similar and smaller, same category. I want to add in tag Godot. I'm gonna move this up again. No reason to be sorry about sleeping, man. I know that. This person's in Russian. I forgot how to stream. Go muffin featuring minimum viable game development. How many people? 5 viewers. I try to get the low. Blender to Godot, starting a shield collection. This could be interesting. Early 3D modeling. 3D modeling's in Linux, C#. Here we go. That's this person. All right, look, he's got a bow. So yeah, let's raid this guy. Thank you guys again for joining me, and I will talk to you tomorrow, around the same amount, same time. It looks like he's running really fast. The underwater? All right, talk to you guys next time. Have a good existence. Bye.